So I'm thinking to myself, like, now I've got the kids off school, like this 10-minute yoga is becoming more tricky, you know, to fit in. And you're like, yeah, Penny, that's exactly how I feel about it, you know. I feel like I don't have time to do yoga. And you know what, that's exactly how I felt on Monday and Tuesday. So, you know, I feel you and I hear you, right? And but at the same time, I'm like, you know, I did kind of probably had 10 minutes on Monday and Tuesday, but actually maybe what it actually it wasn't about not having time. I actually just wanted to break away from it to deal with some really heavy stuff. And you know, it's funny because I didn't post anything. But when I think about it, even on those Mondays and Tuesdays, I was doing yoga. I was in contemplation, on and off my mat. We've just been for a walk with the dogs, and I'm pretty sure they have finished all the water, and I do not like my dogs not to have water in their bowls. Obviously, that's a bit harsh, so bear with us. We move around the house. Cool. Rich, finish the water, my lovely. I have to put some more in. So there's me thinking to myself, okay, hold on. I'm going to put the kettle on and I'm going to do some things in the kitchen while I talk. Because I often think to myself, you know, I'm like doing these videos and I'm like, oh, they've always got to be movement and stillness and stuff. But you know what? I think I'm going to have to add contemplation into the mix because it's a biggie. Because on the days you are emotionally exhausted, and that takes a toll on you physically, I think. And it's like, if I can't have the emotion, if I can't deal with my emotions, how am I going to deal with myself physically? Because if I deal with myself physically, then how am I going to deal with myself emotionally? I'm going to have no reserves left. Yeah, I hear you. Let me just check the dog's bum. Okay, good. We're good. They got water. You all right, big fella? It's a hot doggies. Right, okay. It's interesting because we all know I've got nowhere to put. Let's see if I can put you up. Oh no, I can't put against the teapot. That never work. This looks like it might be a handy thing to use. My NutriBullet. See you with my NutriBullet. Yeah, there you go. You're sat in my NutriBullet right now. I'm not going to put it on, so you're not going to feel any pain. So maybe this is something you want to consider. Life is extremely busy, it's extremely hectic, and the thought of unrolling your yoga mat and doing any yoga, the thought of unrolling your yoga mat and doing, it's kind of like, no. You're all consumed by something, and something that's taking up a lot of your time, emotionally. This is when contemplation is great, I think. And you know the great thing about this is that you know how to get into that contemplative state, because you can't arrive asking questions, you know, in a very kind of like hip-hap, ship-shap way. You have to drop down into your belly, drop down into your core, drop down into your soul. And you do that with your breath. Now, yes, I know you're saying, you know, especially if you come to one of my sessions, I do it with a whole hour with you, Pen, and then I feel that way. You can shorten that. You know, you can compress that. You know, you can allow yourself to land in your core in maybe 5 to 10 breaths. And maybe that doesn't happen straight away. And maybe, yes, you do have to go back and watch a video. Maybe you do have to unroll your mat. And then drop down into your core. But over time, you will find yourself being able to just use the breath, the tripod feet, the connection that you get from your yoga. You know, one movement that I find really useful to just connect me into my tripod feet and to connect me to my core, my soul, is this movement here as the arms go up, but I'm feeling into my tripod feet even with my trainers on. That's on the inhale. And then as I exhale, I bring the palms back together in front of my heart center and I let my shoulders soften. I ground down back into my tripod feet and I bring my arms back down from my side. That on repeat until it's like you're not here, you are here. you'll notice the difference, and that will shorten over time. But yes, I think what I might do on the days where I feel like I'm not feeling like an emotionally capable of doing anything physical right now, or I don't actually want to, I'm going to put some videos up like this and get you thinking, because I love all that sort of stuff, and I don't do enough of it, because I love taking you through movement practices, right, with your breath. I love to move the body, I really do, but equally, when that's not available to us, we've got to have something else. Can't just not do yoga. I was thinking about this on the walk. What's the meaning of life? When I was younger, it was all about finding myself. And then as I grew up, it was all about searching and seeking and finding and looking and picking up every rock and looking underneath it. The meaning of life, it's finding your purpose, Penny. The meaning of life is just being unapologetically you, Penny. I think the meaning of life is to just stay with who you are and go from that. Who am I? You know, that's a fabulous question to ask yourself. Who am I? Who am I? Because you're not your name, and you're not your occupation, and you're not your role, and it's not what you do. It's who you are on a soul level. Who are you? When you drop down into your breath and you just feel those tripod feet. Can you feel that light, divine being within you? Or is it hidden and cloaked under so many layers? Because if it is, why? Why don't you allow this softer part of you to play a part in your life? Is it because you feel like you're soft enough already? Maybe you equate that to being maybe shy, or maybe you feel like it's going to be come in the way of your dramatic side. But what if it actually added to all of that? And what if you're doing yourself a disservice by just seeing yourself on this physical layer, mental layer, and emotional layer? These are also apparent to you, but what about your soul? Doesn't she deserve to play a part in your life? And the fabulous thing about her is she does have all the answers. And they don't always come when you expect them to arrive. But you have to stay. And sometimes staying is uncomfortable. The majority of the time, it's uncomfortable. The word trigger comes to mind. If something triggers you, you move away. If something feels uncomfortable, you jump out of it, right? You know, I get it, you know? It's like that thing. Put your hand in the flames, uncomfortable, move it away. But no, I'm talking about other things. Things that have meaning. Why don't those people like me? And then maybe you end up staying away from people. I'm really, really hungry. I'm going to put the kettle on and have a coffee, but I want you to have a contemplation today when you've dropped down into your soul and ask yourself the question, who am I? And then I want you to think about things that trigger you, that make you feel uncomfortable. Being around people was something that used to make me feel really uncomfortable. So I put myself in it and through it. It's not like I want you to go unhappy being uncomfortable, but what I want you to realise is the uncomfortableness, the triggers, they're all lessons that you need to learn, however fucking hard it seems. You've got to try and see that, but through the lens of love. Because when you start doing that, you'll be able to start seeing your life, you, in a light that you've not done before. And in doing that, questions that you've never asked yourself will appear. And they'll be so different from what you say that you'll know they came from another source other than like your brain. But you feel like you want to find the answer. And instead of going out and seeking for that answer, you will just sit and the answer will reveal itself. Okay, there you go. So that was pretty cool. Hey, it was just like 11 minutes of me just riffing. Found your song?